Hello everybody and welcome to KDH art class. All right, so the coronavirus stay at home is still going on, so let's continue with our radial art. Again, radial art is art that comes out or radiates from a central point. So you have your little point here and you notice it's all around. It kind of gives this nice balance. It could be symmetrical or asymmetrical, but we're going to focus on a textile project to create our radial art. We've already done this one in the previous class, and we've even done a cup weaving. In fact, this cup weaving, I use plastic grocery bags as my yarn. So this next one is going to need a paper plate, some scissors, something to write and color with, and some sort of string, yarn, cut up pieces of fabric, thread, rope, twine. Use your imagination, or even the cut up plastic bags to make our plarn. I happen to have a bunch of different colors around here. In my art room I have so many more fun colors, but since I am at home and not able to go to my art room, we have to make do with what we have. So here we go. Let's get started on our circular weaving, also known as radial weaving, which is a radial art. And here's some little ideas on what you can do. It does not matter what size paper plate it is. I'm going to use a smaller one so it goes a little bit faster, but you can use any size that you have available to you. Once we have the balance, we'll be able to feel the fun texture. It's really soft. You can cut it off its loom and it becomes like little coasters. You have to secure it pretty good, tie it so it doesn't unravel once it's off its loom. The loom is the plate, okay? Or what I did with these is I went ahead and made the plate part of the little artwork. Either one of those is perfectly fine by you or by me, whatever you want to do. We are going to need to follow a pattern. That pattern is what produces the design in the center. All right, the most important thing you need to know is you need an odd number of cuts in your plate. So let's go ahead and just start at the top, and most paper plates have like this circle area here versus the outer edge. So I'm going to go from the outer edge and I'm going to stop at that circle area. That's where you actually like put the food type thing, and this is supposed to keep it on. All right, then when I come down here, I'm going to go ahead and add my line down here till it falls off. All right. Then I'm going to come to the side. Now if you don't have that circle edge, use your imagination and find a nice stopping point. Okay, and I'll do the other side. Now so far it's kind of symmetrical, which means it's going to be an even number, but we're going to sneak one extra line in there to make it odd. All right, so I'm looking at this. I'm going to put 2 lines, 1, 2 in between, and I'm going to do 2 lines here, 1, 2, and it doesn't matter if they're perfectly the same distance apart. Nature is not perfection. That is a human error. I say error because I'm an art teacher and I just love the imperfections that make it unique and fun. I added 2 more lines there, but this one I'm going to do different. I need an odd number, so I'm going to put 1 in the middle, and then I'm going to add 1 over here and 1 over here. So I added 3 lines in this little area. Okay, that means it's going to be a little bit skinnier, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to use a different color so you can see what I'm talking about. In between those lines, you can put a dot so that you can create these triangles. The triangles, believe it or not, start where the dot is and you cut it where the line touches the inner circle. So if you're planning on doing that, I would recommend that you go ahead and add those dots now. All right. And it just goes in the center. Or if you don't want to worry about the dots and you just want to curve, like cut a little rainbow shape, you can turn it into like these little petals. Now this guy, he's done with an even number, but we have to do a different type of wrap on the back. What I like about the odd number is that we'll be able to produce weavings on the front as well as the back. So anyways, it's up to you if you want to add the dots or not. I find the dots are the easiest and that the triangles are the easiest, but you can do whatever you'd like. Come up with something new. Some of my students actually do like a pattern where they switch it up a little bit and they do the triangle one and the rainbow one, but that's up to you. All right, the next thing we need to do is we need to cut along our lines. So we're going to stop when we get to that circle area in the middle. Very carefully. You notice I never point the scissors at myself or anyone around me. And I would never, ever, ever run with scissors. You want to make sure that if you have to carry them, you cover the pointy part for safety, and that you carry them with 2 hands with the pointy part pointing down towards the ground, not up towards your face. So heaven forbid someone bump into you or you ever trip or fall. The pointy part doesn't go towards your head or face or any of those special areas. All right, so from here you can then cut from the dot to your line and ploop, off it goes. Now this dot can then go to the other line, and that is how you go around to create again the points. Now again, if you want to be creative and you want to do like a rainbow, you can do the rainbow one. You can even switch it up. Now if you switch it up, remember we have an odd number. You might end up with 2 of the same next to each other. Well, that is up to you. I wouldn't mind it. I actually prefer the pointy ones being next to each other. So maybe I'll do this one and do 2 pointy ones next to each other. Alright, then I'll keep going with the rainbow and the pointy. Yeah, it's up to you. This is a beautiful radial artwork. You can be as creative with it as you'd like. But you have the options because you put that little dot there. Or you could just simply cut a rounded section. Okay. Or you could leave it as it was. All of them will be beautiful. Alright, so I have created my neat little design. Now I need a piece of string about 6 feet long. Okay, That's 2 yards, and it's going to need to start. I tell my students start at the bottom, gives you a little bit more room, and then you're going to wrap it on the top. Then it's going to go underneath and it's going to pop out the bottom, and then it's going to go to crisscross over it to the top on this side, crisscross and come down to the bottom. Turn my plate, crisscross, go into the next hole, crisscross and come out the bottom. And what I mean by crisscross, they're crisscrossing on the back as well. Crisscross to the next one, crisscross to this next one, crisscross to that one, crisscross to this one. It's making me hungry because it looks like a piece of pizza pie. And crisscross. Actually, it looked like I only used about 4 feet of it. So if you don't quite have the 6, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and snip this down near the bottom. It's better to have too much than too little. And then I should be able to go through underneath all of them and pop out the other side in the middle. And then when I pull it, it should pull all of those strings towards the center. From there, I go back to the original and I go under it, and then I come out and I pull it towards the middle. Boom. I have a nice little knot. And you only need a single knot. Okay. I need to do it for this other side, so it went through underneath. It's underneath all of them. This is the one I started with, so it's automatically under. I'm going to pull it up so it catches all those other ones. Then I'm going to go under and through and tighten up to the middle. All right. And I'd recommend just trimming this back. Don't cut the knot. Then it will unravel, and of course you can trim the other side, but you are ready to go. Now, here's the next pattern that we need to know. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And we're going to start with that dusty rose color, because I don't have very many choices here. And all you have to do is tie it in the middle. So I'm just going to go under all of my little strings so that I can crisscross it and go through that little circle and give it a nice little tug. And there's the start. Now, parents, heads up, if you are helping your youngster, they can do this very easily. What I would recommend, because the end of the yarn likes to fray, that means it looks like it's having a bad hair day, I'm going to just make like a little circle. And older kids, you can do this too. And then go through that circle and tie it in a knot, so then it doesn't get difficult to work with. You keep it simple. All right, so let's begin, and we can begin anywhere. Once it's tied on, you're going to go under one of the strings, doesn't matter which one. All right, and then you're going to skip one, and then you're going to go under the next string. Now you have to make sure you always go in the same direction. So I'm going to turn this so I can skip one, go under. Okay. And before I go too far, I have all of this string that's going to get tangled up on everything, and it doesn't look good out here. So I need to pull all of that string through. Keep going. Uh-oh, it's getting caught on my petals. Pull it all the way through. All the way through. And there we go. All right, so I lift it up and I find the last one I went under, which is this one. And I'm still going in that same direction, so I went under here, so skip one, under, skip one, under, skip one, under, and before I go too much further, pull all of that string through. Pulling all of that string through. I'm even going to tuck that thing under. It's bothering me, it's sticking up. There we go. All right, find the last one that I went under. So I'm going to skip one and go under. Skip one and go under. Skip one and go under. Whoops, let's not get too far ahead. Let's go ahead and pull all of that string through. Oh, look at that, it's already starting to make this cute little center. All right, this is the last one it was under. So we're going to skip one, under, skip one, under, skip one, under. Pull it through. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Now, you don't want to pull it too tight in the middle, but you do want it to be snug. Okay, this is the last one we went under, so skip one, under, skip one, under, skip one, under, and you know the drill, pull it through, because we're following a pattern. Okay. Now, because it's an odd number, we should be seeing it change, but it looks like I did an even number, didn't I? Oh no. So I obviously messed up somewhere. At this point, there it is. Doesn't really matter. I had to like really look at my patterns. I accidentally looks like I accidentally went under two of them. Oh, there it is. Yep, I went under these two. Okay, now it's just going to fix itself. My goodness. See, when I'm so busy talking and telling you guys how to do it, skip one, under, skip one, under. You start to make mistakes. But luckily this is right here in the beginning. Nobody's really going to see it because it's going to start fixing itself this next round. If I had waited and accidentally did it on this one, then I could back it up a little bit and then continue on. But what you notice in this one is you don't see these black strings in the middle. So you do want them next to each other, and you want to pull them close enough together that they kind of hide the black strings. Of course, in the middle, there's nothing we can do about that except glue on a cute little button right there, or a little toy that you get out of a gumball machine. All right, let's make sure I do this right. So under, skip one, under, skip one, under. There we go. Now it's looking more correct. I noticed the mistake because I had two touching each other and they were both going under at the same time and over at the same time. So that's what made me stop for a second there, because I just need to make sure. Skip one, under, skip one, under. Just need to make sure that they alternate. So one time it's going to go under it, and one time it's going to go over it, and so on and so forth. And that's what hides these strings and makes it strong. All right, so we're going along. Skip one under, skip one under. I'm going to show you how to add your next string. Okay. And then you're pretty much on your own. So, under, skip one under, skip one under, pull the string. There we go. Now it's starting to cover up that slate, that bluish gray colored yarn. That's what I wanted all along. And like I said, in the beginning, it doesn't really matter because you're still going to see a little bit of it anyways. If it had happened a little bit later on in the project, I would have had to back up my strings until I got to the point where it wasn't messed up. All right, skip one under, skip one under. And I'm willing to bet most of you did not make my mistake because you were following directions and paying attention to what you were doing. Unlike myself, I'm trying to do several things at one time, and I'm discovering the older I get, the harder that is for me to do. So cray cray. Oh. What can I say? It's unusual, but it's a fact of life. The older you get, the more you forget. But the more you know, because you've lived through it all and you've experienced. Just think, all of us here surviving the coronavirus, when we come across some other little natural phenomenon that affects daily life, we'll be able to sit there and say, hey, we've done this before. We're going to be just fine. It's going to be a change in our lifestyle, but we're going to make the best of it. And what's nice about this radial weaving, or any weaving that I show on these shows, you could go for a walk and weave at the same time. You can sit outside and do it. Since we're not allowed to go anywhere per se, those are pretty much our choices. Yes, we can walk the dogs. Yes, we can go for a walk for exercise. But no, we're not allowed to go to the exercise gyms. That's too many people together, and this coronavirus is highly contagious. So we're trying to limit how many people are exposed to it at a time, because we don't have vaccines or medicine to fight it right now. It's a new virus. And you don't even have to have symptoms for it to spread. The good news is we have some of the best doctors and people here and all over the world that are trying to discover vaccines so that we don't catch it again, as well as medicines that will alleviate your symptoms so that next time this nasty coronavirus decides to pop his head out, we will be prepared and we won't have to do all these special things. Oh, look how cute my little flower's getting to be. All right, so I have a little bit left, and like I showed you on the other ones, we need to attach more string. Actually, since my fingers are kind of big, I need a little bit more string than that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think this color. My next color, this one's got a little sparkle to it. There's the end. Line up the two ends together, like that. Wrap them both around my finger. Take my finger out so that both the strings have made a circle. And then I'm going to take those little ends And I'm going to push them through the circle. Pull it nice and tight so they don't come apart. And I can even trim the excess off. Be careful you don't get too close to the knot. And remember, on this other end, so it doesn't start fraying on you, you can make a little circle with it and push it through the circle, and you're ready to go. And you're just going to keep going. I'm not worried about where that knot is. This is my last under, so that means I skip one, and then I go under, skip one and under, skip one and under, and then pull all of my string through. Keep pulling. Uh-oh, come on out. Keep pulling. Oops, it's getting caught on all my petals. And it's going to automatically change colors. All right, so the last one is under here, so skip one, under, skip one, under, skip one, under, skip one, under. Don't forget to pull it through on occasion. And I apologize, it does like to get caught on those petals, but the petals make it so cute. And you don't even have to color the petals. And you keep going. If you have any of these pieces that are sticking up, you just simply push it underneath and keep going like it was never there. Then you're free to color your petals, and you can even do the back side and color that. So when it's hanging and it's spinning around, you'll have two different looking flowers, or if you want to match them up, you can match them up. Imagine how beautiful they are as you're going along. Make a bunch of them. Hang them down like a curtain in front of your window. These lovely little radial art pieces are just going to brighten up your house. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and please continue to check in and do more fun activities just like these at KDH Art Class. Have a great day.